I'm going to show you how to make flaxseed bread. So what you're going to need is a glass bowl, or you can actually use any bowl that you want to, but I like to use this bowl because it's really deep, so nothing flies out of it. And you're going to need flax, ground flax, which is essential for this recipe. So I get this at Sam's Club, and I like getting it there because you can get 3 pounds for a pretty good price, and you go through it like really slowly, so you'll have it for a long time. So I preheated the oven to 350, and we're going to start by adding the wet ingredients together and mixing those. So we'll start with our 2 eggs. And I like to use eggs from chickens that are pasture raised because I feel better about taking eggs from those chickens rather than taking eggs from chickens that lay eggs all day in a cage. And then we're going to add a 1/2 cup of water and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I like to use extra virgin olive oil, that's cold pressed. There's one. And now to mix this, you can use a spoon because that's what I did before I got this nice little mixer. But using a spoon just works the same. So now that that's mixed, we're going to add the dry ingredients, which is a 1/3 cup of ground flax, almond flour, and coconut flour. And so that's easy to remember since it's equal parts of everything. So I'll just start with the coconut flour. And actually now you can get like a big bag of coconut flour at Sam's Club too. And I don't really like shopping at Sam's Club, but it does make cooking or making these recipes a lot cheaper. Okay. So when you're at this store, you'll see that there's almond meal and almond flour. They're pretty much the same thing. So I think almond meal is cheaper, so I usually get that. Okay, and the last is our ground flax. Okay, and we'll mix that up with our wet ingredients. And then we'll add our salt and our baking powder. So a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I usually do a little bit less than a 1/2 teaspoon because whenever I use a 1/2 teaspoon, it comes out really salty. So I would do just a smidgy bit less than that. So I just fill it like a little over 3/4 of a 1/2 teaspoon. And then a 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. You'll notice when coconut flour sits in the batter, it starts to absorb a lot of moisture. So if you ever think that your batter is really runny, make sure to wait just a few minutes before you add more coconut flour, because it might just end up absorbing it without adding any more than you need. Okay, so that's done. So we're gonna take our 9" by 9" square pan and oil it just a little bit so that the bread doesn't stick to the pan. And I usually use a mixture of lecithin and coconut oil to oil my pans, because for some reason that really works. But olive oil usually seems to do the trick too. Okay, so we'll add our batter into the pan. And you're just going to want to even it out in the pan with a spatula. You can use your fingers too, doesn't really matter, but it is one of the parts that takes the longest, so you have to be kind of patient with it. Okay, I'm going to call it good. So now we're going to put it in the oven for 20 minutes to bake. Okay, so the bread is done, and you'll just notice that it's a little bit browned around the edges. And I really like to eat this bread with peanut butter or any other kind of nut butter, like in the morning for breakfast, or it makes really good garlic parmesan bread for any Italian dish. It's very versatile. That's what I like about it. So I hope you enjoy and like it as much as I do.